Hey guys, Kevpert here. Today we'll be doing a 1v1 analysis of me. And I'll be doing this live. I figure that I can get, if I get proficient at this, I can probably get a lot more content out a lot easier and a lot more regularly than I have in previous months, where I've been making about a video per month. So, well, I'll do this one take. We'll see how it goes. But this is a 1v1 against a grand champion. I'm a mere superstar. But SpongeBob SwagPants, he's a Rocketeer. He's actually ranked 41 in the top 100 for 1v1, so he is a incredible player. He actually beat me in the previous game 8-2, and I was actually winning that one 2-0 until about halfway through the game, and he scored like 8 goals with no response. He kind of just ran away with it at the end. I was getting kind of careless, but he scored a bunch of dribbling goals at me, dribble goals, front flip shots, etc. And he was very fast. And we'll kind of see what kind of player he's like, and we'll break down his style and how I strategize and react to that style. So, let's begin. So from my point of view, this is a pretty good kickoff because it's landed in his half. But that's a great first touch from him. And now I'm in a bad position because the distance between him and myself is a little big at the beginning, and it gives him plenty of time to get this dribble started. Top of his car. I never stepped, which is a problem. We'll break that down. He has all the time in the world just to big corner and score. So let's break down this whole play. Here I get the boost. Right here, this is good for me right now. And this is a really good touch. And we kind of see an indication of what kind of player he is. Very technical. He's going to handbrake, and he's going to boost. And it looks like he's going to hit it over me. And I was a little concerned about being on the back foot here, so I wanted to turn, get in a position to defend. He actually fakes, and that buys him some time. Now I'm trying to sort my wheels out, try to step, but this distance is way too far. And he has all the time in the world just to get this on top of his car. Here, at this point, I should probably be, before I've turned, so let me just pinpoint that moment where I should be stepping. Here, I should be turning left. He's only going straight. He's not going to have a great ability to turn left and right, and I should be stepping there before he gets triple set. The ball's on the back part of his car, so there's no danger of a front flip. Once he lets it roll to the front, that's a good visual cue of when a front flip shot is going to happen. And he scores that. Good play from him. Poor positional play from me, but he did really sell that little fake on the wall earlier. Okay, so in my previous 1v1 analysis of the Cosmic Owl, I did talk about a situation like this, where you can step to the ball when it's on your side and the opponent goes for boost. This is a little window of an opportunity to just hit the ball behind and just kind of to stop their flow of the attack. So let's go back. Little window. I'm trying to hit this behind SpongeBob SwagPants. And he has to control the ball, and he ends up drilling into me. Okay, this is a little interesting. You'll see it. So he goes for the demo, and I have no idea where he is, but I use my game sense and my hearing to kind of just figure out what he's gonna do. At this point, whenever you're underneath a high ball, you can expect a demolition because you are a static target. You're a huge target, and we look from his perspective, and he's going for it. And I just jump out of the way in time. That's just a little bit of game awareness. And here we see another indication of what kind of game he's going to play. And it kind of sets the tone for the rest of the game. But he's handbraked, he's boosted, and he's basically telling me that he's going to challenge me for every ball. He's going to go for balls that generally shouldn't be his. And maybe I can use that to my advantage. But I'm expecting him to be very aggressive in defending and We'll see how this plays out for the rest of the game. So here, I actually back off from that shot, and I want to break this down. I think most players, lower level players, they would try to go for a shot here because the goal looks open. It looks really open, but I know it's not open. I know that the opponent is really fast on handbrake turns. We already saw that, so he's likely to already get back. Even if I did go for a shot and got it on target, and let's say he's not there to save, okay, that'd be a goal. But I know he's going to be there. If I front flip at this ball and it hits the back wall, that's a breakaway goal. If I front flip and he saves, he has a breakaway opportunity. That's not good for me. And if I front flip and roll this up, still I would probably flip into the wall and it takes some time to get back. So there's generally no good outcome for me here. And we see him enter the picture here, and he makes the save. And now it's a race for the boost. He gets the boost, and with 0 boost, I'm just concerned about getting this to the side. Getting boost and setting up. I just want to break down this little play here because it's a little neat little thing that I do that gets me in a position to attack this ball. So I think most players here, they would stay sideways on. The ball would hit the wall, and the opponent would get a shot opportunity, and then they would try to make a reactive save to that. But here I just tap, and we'll see it. I just tap handbrake there. I'm reading the path of the ball, and I'm facing where the ball is going to end up. So this is a little proactive play here, and I can nip this in the bud before it becomes a shot. And I get a block. Now he's upside down, and he goes for another shot, and I get a block again. So now it's just going to be a slow game in the corner. I'm just keeping in the corner. The distance is close, so I'm in a good position to defend dribble. Generally also, dribbles, you need to get the ball set on the car. You need to be going a little faster pace. So this is not dangerous for me whatsoever. He's committed. He hasn't flipped, but he's committed behind me. So I have an opportunity to push this up the field and, well, just buy myself some time. And we see him be aggressive again, and this time it works against him. So he's gone for the side boost, and I respond to that by going inside, and he's handbraked, and he actually is a little too aggressive and gives me the goal here. So we'll just do this a little slowly. I only have 25 boosts or so here, and we can see him be aggressive. He's trying to cut this out and get the boost at the same time, but I do just push it past him and get the demo here. So a bit fortunate there, but he was overly aggressive, and I think he made a poor positional play there, going for that side boost, but he didn't really need to. So this is just a terrible kickoff. This is maybe a good example of what not to do, but we'll just go back. And my camera settings are such that I can see over the ball, so I can see what he's doing as he's flipping. So he's front flipped. When you front flip, that generally means the opponent's going to go for a hit on the center of the ball. I've done a diagonal flip because I like to do a side dodge here, and I actually landed funny. I landed and pointed my wheels left for some reason, and so now I'm just hitting the left of the ball. He's hitting the center of the ball, so he just takes the whole ball. He's side flip, but he takes the whole ball and he gets to open net. So that's pretty poor play for me. I should be watching what he's doing. As soon as he does the front flip, that's a visual cue to me, saying that I have to hit the middle of the ball, at least, to challenge that. And I got that all wrong. I shouldn't be side flipping left. I should be dodging right at that point to make up for it. But oh well, 2-1. I gave him a free goal. What can you do? Okay, so he's really sold that because he's come out so far. And this is a really good play from him. He's turned quickly. I'm going for the boost. I don't get it, so he has boost and ball control. But that ball's really high, so it's going to take some time for him to get that under control and get a dribble started. But remember, again, the first goal that he scored, he had a dribble where my distance was too far. So playing off that information, that context of contextual information from this game, I wanted to step up higher and prevent any dribble from happening for the rest of the game. So I get this boost, and as soon as he looks like he's going to push it past me, I just handbrake and boost and get in a position to defend. And the ball's bouncing on top of his car, and when the ball's bouncing like that, that's another good visual cue of when to step. When the ball's resting on the front half of the car, that's when you can get a front flip shot and they can push it over you. So that's dangerous. But if it's bouncing, by all means go for it. And so while it's bouncing, he's not in a good position to flip that shot past me. And so I just go up high and get the dunk. And so that's a goal. Let's do that in real time. We see this play from him. He gets the boost and ball. He takes the time. Not a good touch here. And that time I'm a lot closer. My distance was a lot closer, so I'm in a position to tackle. And I'm also sideways on, so if he does push it past me, I probably am in a good position to get to the ball before he does. If he pushes it over me, I can just turn right and boost. And I can also turn left and tackle the ball. And so that's what I end up doing, and I get a goal. So not the greatest kickoff. I get a little too far to the left. This time I control the ball, get the boost. And I don't know what he's doing on the wall there, but he recovers and he gets the ball. And he backs off, which is kind of surprising because he set the tone for the whole game that where he would usually at this point handbrake and turn and try to attack the ball. But he backs off. This is kind of interesting. That's the boost. And at this point I'm actually watching him. You know, this is a bit of game awareness, but I'm watching what he does. And because he's backed off, I had this little bit of space between him and myself where I can pop the ball into and maybe work a clear or something. He's on the wall there, and I try to get a bounce shot here, power clear, and I get it all wrong. And I end up flipping beyond the ball. And whenever you do that, generally the best thing you can do to remedy that situation is just to go for demolition. I get that. And this is all technique here. This is handbraking, practicing a free play, handbraking boosting. I get the goal with that quickly. If I didn't know how to handbrake correctly, he would definitely save that. So get the boost, handbrake, boost, act quickly, get the goal. So I got 2 goals from demos. And just quick thinking in general. So here, the kickoff's pretty neutral. It's on his side. So he's in a good position here. But I'm closer to the side boost, and this is important. And so I win the side boost. And it looks like he flips there, so I have ball control and boost. And I get a goal. I'll break this play down. I'll slow it down a bit. So this is really poor play from him. So as this ball sets, he is looking for that side boost, and I'm ahead of him. He's still flipping, and even at this point, he's still going for that boost when it looks like I'm gonna win that outright. So he realizes that a little too late. So he's gone out of position to go over the side boost. Now he's flipped. He's committed to going to that corner boost, and generally whenever a player is recovering to the corner, that's a good opportunity to pop the ball into the center and try to get a shot while they go that way. And so my touch is really good there. I get that centered by going over the ball, and I get a shot that he cannot save. So 4-2, kind of a commanding lead once. And we'll see how this plays out. So again, not a good kickoff for me. And all these failed kickoffs, they kind of tell me that I need to work on my kickoffs. I need to be a little more consistent. You can see with this one, I flipped a little too early, and I'm too far on the right of the ball. So he's won that, and it's on my side of the pitch, and he actually almost gets a goal because of it. I get back for the block. Here, based on the context of the game, I know he wants to get around the ball and handbrake and boost and get on the attack. Maybe start a bounce dribble or something. But I've also shown that I'm willing to attack the ball, pressure him. So he actually feels like he needs to hit that to the side. And at this point, I switch off ball cam, and I'm in free cam, and I just take a look at this image. And I actually back off because of it, because I know that there's no benefit here for me if I go for that ball. If I go for that ball, it's most likely just going to pop out into the middle of the field. I'm going to be hanging on the wall or whatever with the flip, and he's going to have a breakaway opportunity. So at this point, I just back off, and we just go from there. And he's hit this into me, and this is a really dangerous play, but I do make a good save. And I just want to highlight that I used a double jump instead of a flip to make the save. And the way the game's physics works, and if you're not aware, is that if you're on the wall and you do a flip, you stay on a horizontal plane. That means if you do a flip, your movement downwards does not continue. You just stay horizontal. It's your flip. Whereas if you do a double jump, your movement, you continue falling down due to the force of gravity. So because of that, I pop it out, and I'm continuing along the flight of the ball. So I jump here, and oops, that was pretty bad camera work. Apologies. So here, we'll just do this 25. So at this point, I know that's the only thing I can do is to try to get a block. I jump, following the ball's path, and then he hits it into me because I did a double jump instead of a front flip. If I did a front flip, I would have been way above the ball, and he would have had an open net. So that's one thing you can do if you're ever in that position. Again, he's kind of, I've played into his mind for the game with my aggressiveness. And so he's trying to buy some time. Instead of getting around the ball and boosting, handbrake boosting, he actually just pops that into the wall and tries to defend from there. And he actually makes a big mistake here. And if I was a little more a better player, I probably would have scored that one. So we can just break this down, make it a little slower. By turning there, he's committed. So if I can actually work this and get far enough left on the ball and actually have a good shot, I could have scored. Because he's basically frozen in position. He's in no position to save that. But I miss, and I'm actually in a bad position, and he misses up the flip shot. And we kind of play slow there. And the reason we play slow there is whoever hits this ball first is at a disadvantage because the other player is so close. You're basically just going to hit it into the other player. So if I hit this ball too early, it's going to hit into him. Maybe it'll pop into the goal or something. Hits into me, it pops behind him. So he basically just concedes possession. You just have to be a little patient there. That's a little bit of game awareness. And he's trying to be aggressive as well. He doesn't want me to do a bounce dribble or a normal dribble. So he's using that boost and signaling to me that he's gonna press, and he backs off. And I use the bounce well enough to get a big clear. So I'm just hitting this on the up bounce. So let's get a power clear. And now I can move up the pitch. And there, great turn from him. He gets the boost. I mean, this is just excellent turn from him. We'll just look at from his perspective. But he gets the boost. He's turned. Now he's on the attack. And now it's my turn. And you can kind of see my decision making. Now I've looked behind me and he scored. But he does this. Now I've looked behind myself and I know that he's going to press the ball. So, but I know that using ball cam here, he's not that close. So I can get around the ball and pop this towards his net and maybe get a bounce shot or something. But my turn, I don't get that the way I want it to. I want this to bounce towards his net, not towards the side. I end up just hitting it into him. He's handbraked, boosted turn, and that's a great turn for him. He gets the challenge in, and he wins that challenge well. I mean, let's look at that from his perspective. It's a great play from him. Poor play from me here to hit it into him, but that's a quick turn, gets the challenge, and then I have no boost at this point, and he just gets open net. So I don't think there's anything wrong with my decision making here. This is just the difference between him being grand champion and me being a superstar. He's a lot more refined than me. His handbraking is one of his biggest assets. I've been trying to work on it. So this is just a technical error, more not so much a decision making error. Okay, so not really sure why I jumped there. I'm pretty sure it has to do with something has something to do with me having subpar information. So at this point, I don't really know what he's doing. Right here, I should be tapping rear cam just to figure out what he's doing. By jumping, I kind of commit to missing the ball, and then I go for boost. So I leave the ball, which is poor as well. Now he's in a position to score if he does a bounce shot or a power shot, and he actually messes up this opportunity here. He had an open net, so I get kind of lucky that he fluffed his chance. But again, I know that he's going to be back there in time, so I just want to push this. At this point, I give up on the play. I just want to get the boost. Try to see if I can step here. He gets that little boost pad. And we talk about distance on the first goal and one of the goals I scored where I caught him on the dribble. And this is an example where I got the distance wrong. And when the ball's on the ground like this, all you can do is a push dribble. So the only move you can do is to push the ball forward. They're pretty predictable, but at the same time, the opponent can reach supersonic speed with just a little boost and a flip. So you do have to give it, some respect. And I didn't, and I got a little too close, and he just flips beyond me, and he recovered that ball excellently. That's an excellent goal. But I was a little too close there in regards to distance. So again, poor kickoff. He's front flipped, meaning he's gonna hit the center of the ball, and I hit too far on the right of the ball, so not a surprise that this goes into my back corner. And he probably should have scored here. I actually bump him a little bit. That messes him up, and ends up hitting that into me. There, he's being aggressive. He's saying, even if I'm facing the wrong way, I'm gonna turn and I'm gonna attack that ball. But I'm always there, trying to match that and going in for tackle. Again, he's doing the same thing there. Let's see how aggressive he's being. And the only way to defend that is to just step and match them. Here, that wall arrow just does not look interesting to me. Even if it was a good opportunity for a shot, I wouldn't have gone for it. Just because in ones, if you do a wall aerial, you're most likely not going to score from this kind of range. And if you do a front flip or whatever, you generally are going to float in the air for a few seconds, and that's a few precious seconds that the opponent can take to control the ball and dribble into your net on a breakaway. So I'm actually watching the opponent here. I drive down the wall, and I know that I'm closest, so I can always win the ball, and I jump quickly and get the ball. And I know that he's committed and he's on the back wall, so I don't need to look back. And I'm trying to do a similar play to what I did earlier, but I just get that balance all wrong. If I get back and make the block. Okay, so here I'm in a good position. If he gets a bounce shot on the first shot, then I'm in a good position to save because I have plenty of time to react. He actually hits his behind me, and I get fooled by the bounce there. I thought it was going to bounce up, and I hesitate, and he scores. In Wasteland, the back wall, the bevel is a lot smaller than on the sides, so caught me by surprise. That looks like it should bounce up, but at this point I hesitate. I shouldn't be hesitating, I should be going for the block. Because he's reacting quickly, he's got the goal. Again, not a good kickoff, but at this point I'm just going to recover net. Okay, that's actually a really big mistake, going for that flip shot. He's jumped up. Hitting this means, and flipping, means he's committed and he's going to be hanging in the air for a little bit, which means I have plenty of time to push this down the pitch. So while he's committed, I'm in a position to push it up the pitch, and then I almost get a goal because of it, because he was so out of position. And this is me using Handbrake. I can use Handbrake as well, and me being a little more aggressive. So here, well, let's go back again. Here. So at this point, I give him the ball, but a Handbrake there, and he's let the ball bounce, which means I can step in, and I have a really good opportunity to score here. I just get a little too underneath the ball, but I recover, and my backflip is perfect, and I actually am just able to boost into the ball. I get a little fortune on the landing here, where I land on the top side of my car, and the backflip is like a perfect distance for me. Get really lucky there, but I reacted well, given my situation. So 5-5, 8 seconds left. Anything can happen. And right here, just looking at this image, that boost is there. It's not there in the replay, but it is there. And I know that he wants to get side boost, and he wants to get ball control, even though he's not really in position to get both. He should be trying to get on the right side of the ball, and I should be trying to hit this towards his side. But regardless, I actually bump him. He gets the boost, and I flip, and he bumps me into the ball, and I get the goal. And that about wraps this up. I'm just gonna replay some bits of the game, and I hope this has been helpful. I think there's a lot of good points that you guys can take away from this game. One is the prominence of handbraking and boosting and playing an aggressive game. Very popular ones. If you ever watch Marky Duda and Pashy, and you wonder how players always let them have bounce dribbles or whatever, it's because they're so good at handbraking and boosting into the ball. They're recovering balls that would normally be lost causes, because they have just that technical capability of getting around the ball and handbraking and being aggressive. So that's something I think everyone should work on. If you're at the challenger levels, if you're at any of the rising star, shooting star, all-star levels, that's going to make a huge difference in your game, and you'll win games easily if you work on that free play. Even at superstar, obviously it's a necessity to compete. And you also saw that he has much more technical capabilities. I mean, he's a much more refined player, but at the same time, I was able to strategize and come up with a solution where I remained competitive in the game and ended up winning against a grand champion. And there were a few instances of me stepping up and denying him to get a easy dribble or bounce dribble opportunity set up from his corner, and there are other opportunities or other instances where I got that positioning wrong, and I get punished for it. So that's something I have to continue to work on. But if you strategize, and I think on the by and large of the game, I prevented more dribbling opportunities than he scored against me, so I think that was a win. But if you strategize, you can beat better players like this. And as you improve your technical capabilities and become a better player overall, you have a lot more tools at your disposal, and you can outright win games. But this is a good way to remain competitive. So hopefully you guys learned a lot from this. This is a new format for me, doing things in one take, but hopefully it lets me create a little more content. I know I don't make a lot of content. I only have 4 videos up at the time of recording this, but somehow I have 3,000 subscribers and 8,000 views on my freestyle video. I mean, the support's been tremendous, so really thank you all for that. I mean, for me personally, it's been really exciting seeing the subscriber count go up and all these nice comments. So really thank you. Hopefully this helps you out, and if you have any questions, leave a comment below. I'll leave the Rocket League replay file down below, so if you want to download that, if you have a PC, put that in your replay. You can put that in your replay folder on your computer, and you can interact with this replay yourself. So, thanks for watching.